Don't do it.
Okay, so I went on Stick'em yesterday, late last night, and I finally saw some people that I knew on there. The last couple of nights, I've seen a few people that I've seen on YouTube. So I was in the one night I was in the Jesus Freak room, and one night I was in the debate Christians versus Muslims room. And both these rooms just confirmed to me that as a people, as a race, human race, we will never be able to agree on anything. You go on these channels, and especially the debate one last night, and one faith will say, well, this is the way it is, and they'll quote scripture, and then the other faith will denounce that scripture with a different scripture, and then the next thing you know, one group is calling the other group a name, and absolutely nothing. It actually produced zero fruits, because after that debate I go into listening to the Muslim room, and they're just saying how, well, this guy, he's really good at debating, but you know, he all the flaws in what he said. And then it's like in the Muslim room they're patting each other on the back on how flawed Christianity is, and then in Christianity they believe that, you know, everybody else is going to hell anyway. And then you have the people who are the atheists, and I went in one of their rooms and I found that just as appalling as all the others. Why do you even need an atheist room, first of all, to get in there and discuss what doesn't exist? That's really interesting. You get in this room and you just say, yes, Christians are dumbasses and Muslims are dumbasses, and you know, I used to believe, but now I don't believe, so I'm really smart. I discovered something doesn't exist. That's interesting. You know, how much money has it made you? People discover things, it's usually like something that you make money, right? I mean, something that it's of value. You discover gold, you get paid. You know, you discover the cure for cancer, you get paid. You discover God doesn't exist, congratulations. So, what am I? Well, I like to say I'm agnostic because I really don't know. Don't know if there is, don't know if there isn't. But I don't feel like I'm superior to anyone who believes. Another thing is, I don't know, you know, those rooms just really get under my skin, because I guess it just reminds me of the way I used to be when I was in that cult I told a lot of people about, where I thought I had a secret. I had the secret. I decoded something that nobody else could decode, and with the help of whoever, opened my mind up, and I discovered this truth that most of the world doesn't know and can't understand, and I want them to understand because I want them to live forever. You know, I don't know. Well, anyway, have to find something to gripe about, right? So anyway, as I was saying, I have a video on here for those of you who haven't seen it, where I saw Bella take out her rosary, and so I would bring out my little Buddha, and I just want to show you, I've been feeding my little Buddha his favorite dish, which is red beans and rice loaded with pork and ham, and he has grown into a huge Buddha. See? And now he carries even larger sack of ham, because the bigger you get, the more you need to eat. And I had to take out this Buddha because I've been feeling really irritated lately, and I need to get it all out. I talk to my Buddha and I get it all out, and Buddha keeps me sane sometimes because he's always smiling, and you know, that's infectious. A smiling Buddha, it's always infectious. So I just look at Buddha and I say, that guy has been smoking some ganja. Look at his eyes. Do you agree? He has been smoking, right? I mean, his eyes are red and looks like he has the munchies, and that's why he carries his sack of ham. So anyway, back to a subject. So there's something I saw today that well, there's a few things I've been watching that have really got me thinking. Today we on the news are talking about how the economy's slowing down, and it has to do with the housing market going down and the gas prices going up, and everything in between is raising their prices because of the cost of fuel, and the dollar is getting weaker, so everything of course has the prices have to go up. And so it made me think, you know, what is the alternative? Okay, first of all, let's separate. When people, you know, sometimes people don't separate democracy and capitalism. So let's take democracy out of it. Let's just talk about capitalism. So capitalism has flaws, right? So we have flaws in capitalism. Communism has flaws. Socialism has flaws. What's the alternative? You know, that's just something that plagues me. Man has not figured out, I think just because of our nature, we can't get a system to work like it's supposed to. And this bothers me. Because, see, I'm a simple person. I enjoy, you know, I could never understand at the different jobs I had in my life. You always had those few people that were looking to get ahead, and they would get ahead. I mean, they were just driven to get ahead, and which is fine, but you know, and then you had the person who makes it, right? And he doesn't just make it and get things to run smoothly. No, he makes it and he wants to keep everybody else down. And so he, you know, he does everything in his power, especially if he's like a manager or something, you know, he does everything in his power to make sure that you don't catch him. Doesn't share knowledge and those type of things. So I'm not that kind of person, you know. I'm really easygoing, you know. I live and let live type. You know, if this other guy makes it and he's, you know, reaping the benefits more than me, well then, you know, good for him, you know. So I guess that's just a sidebar, but my question is, so man screws up these systems, but what is the alternative? What can we really do? I mean, it perplexes me, you know. It seems like you have to step on people in this world, you know, whether it's one country's economic policies and other countries catching up, and eventually they're going to throw their economic policies to keep other people down, or just to really pad, you know, the huge conglomerates' pockets. My dad once said this, and I never understood it growing up, but now I understand it. He said, you know, we had a revolution against England to get out from under a king, and we just set up hundreds of kings over here in the United States. And what he meant by that was, yeah, we had the king over there in England and, you know, taxing us and everything, but now we have all these huge corporations, and each one of the CEOs are kings themselves, doing the same thing. And as I got older, I understood that. Sorry if this video goes all over the place, it's just my scattered brain, but I hope you enjoyed it. My subscribers, I think I have 14 now. Hey, look, it's free to subscribe. Anybody wants to subscribe, come on in, it's free. I'm not going to charge any money, you know. So anyway, alright, well, I'll let it go at that. Hope to see some comments, and I'll get back on here after work. Ciao.